Ever feel like your mind is a storm you can't escape? Like every emotion, every thought, crashes over you, one after another? What if peace isn't something you chase, but something you choose? There's an ancient wisdom, nearly forgotten in today's noisy world, but it might be exactly what you need. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Sounds simple, but hidden in those words is a key to freedom. Because let's be honest, we all live in chaos. Deadlines, disappointments, people letting us down, plans falling apart. So, what if you stopped trying to control the storm and learned to master the sail? That's where Stoicism begins. Not with some cold, rigid discipline, but with clarity, peace, a way to breathe again, even when life feels overwhelming. In this series, we'll explore 7 powerful lessons from Stoicism, not as dry philosophy, but as living truths, tools you can use to steady your mind and weather any storm. Let's begin. Lesson 1. Know what you can control. Ever feel like you're in a storm, but there's no rain, no thunder, just life? A broken plan, a painful phone call, an unexpected twist. That's the kind of storm the Stoics knew best. And they had a name for the tool that helps us survive it. The dichotomy of control. Here's how it works. Imagine you've been planning an outdoor event for weeks. Everything's ready, and suddenly, it rains. Now, you can't stop the rain. You never could. But what you can control is how you respond. Do you curse the sky and spiral into frustration? Or do you move the event indoors? Or even dance in the rain? Epictetus, a man who was born a slave and became one of the most respected thinkers of his time, said it best. Some things are in our control, and others are not. Simple? Yes. But profound. Because once you truly get this, once you stop wasting energy on the wind, you begin to steer your own ship. Every day, life throws things at us. Traffic, rejection, the news, most of it out of our hands. But our reaction? Always within reach. Think back to a moment when life didn't go your way. Maybe you didn't get that job, or someone hurt you. At the time, it felt awful, but later, you saw it differently. It pushed you to grow, to change, to discover something better. That's not just hindsight, that's perspective. And Stoicism helps you build it in the moment, not just after the storm has passed. So here's the question to keep close. Is this something I can control? If yes, take action. If no, let it go. It's not weakness. It's strength in its purest form. Because once you stop fighting the wind and start adjusting your sails, you discover something most people never find: peace. The dichotomy of control is more than just a mental trick. It's a compass, a light in a world that often feels unsteady. It teaches us to invest our energy where it matters, and to find freedom in letting go of the rest. And this is just the beginning. Because once you learn what's truly in your hands, you'll start to see every moment, even the painful ones, in a new light. Next, we'll explore a lesson that could completely shift how you make decisions and help you find power in the space between impulse and action. Second lesson: think before you act. We live in a world addicted to speed. Quick texts, instant reactions, snap decisions. But in this race to respond, have we forgotten how to reflect? How often do we act out of habit instead of intention? Whether it's choosing what to eat, replying to a message, or making a career move, we're constantly making choices. But it's not the size of the decision that shapes our life. It's the quality of the thinking behind it. Imagine reading a message that stings. A colleague questions your work. A friend makes a careless remark. Your pulse quickens. Your first instinct? Defend yourself. Snap back. Prove them wrong. But what if you took a breath? That pause. That tiny space between stimulus and response. That's where your power lives. You're not suppressing emotion. You're giving it room to breathe, to be heard, without letting it drive the car. Reflection means asking, why did this bother me so much? Is this pain from today, or from something old still echoing inside me? It's not weakness, it's self-awareness, and it's the root of empathy. Because once we understand ourselves, we begin to see others more clearly too. That offhand comment? Maybe it came from their own stress, not your failure. Thinking before we act doesn't just save us from regret. It strengthens every part of our life. Our friendships, our work, our self-respect. It's what makes a person feel grounded in a frantic world. It's why thoughtful leaders are followed. Not because they know everything, but because they respond with clarity, not chaos. In a culture that worships instant replies, reflection is rebellion. To pause is to reclaim your pace. To live deeply, not just react quickly. This isn't just a practice. It's a philosophy, a quiet strength that reshapes everything from the inside out. Lesson 3. Learn to be impartial. In a world fueled by emotion, the word dispassion can sound cold, detached, even uncaring. But the truth is, dispassion is not about suppressing what you feel. It's about not letting feelings hijack your clarity. Picture this. You're watching a powerful movie. You feel every twist, every heartbreak, every triumph. But you don't jump on the screen to help the hero. You don't scream at the villain like it's real life. You feel deeply, but you also observe. That's the Stoic way. To stay awake in your own story, but not get swallowed by it. Life will cut you off in traffic. It will give you bad news. It will test your patience with the people you love most. And your emotions? They'll rise like waves. But you don't have to ride every wave. You can let them come, notice them, and let them pass, like clouds across the sky. This isn't apathy. It's maturity. It's saying, I see this feeling, but I choose how to respond. Because if you can pause, even for a second, you unlock a new path. Not the angry snap, not the panicked reaction, but a grounded choice, a better action. Dispassion also means learning to stay calm when the world spins out. When a loved one is struggling, when headlines scream fear, you don't have to shut your heart. You just learn to stand in the storm, without becoming the storm. Think of it like an anchor. It won't stop the winds, but it will keep you steady. Dispassion gives you the grace to be strong without being hard, and soft without being weak. It makes you the calm in the middle of the chaos. Not just for yourself, but for the people who look to you when they feel lost. And in that stillness, you begin to realize your emotions are part of you, but they are not the whole story. Lesson 4. Accept that things change. Everything around us is changing. The sky above us, the people we love, the person we see in the mirror. And yet, so many of us live like it shouldn't. We resist. We cling. We pretend that what's here now will last forever. But what if, instead of fearing change, we learn to dance with it? The Stoics didn't just accept change. They welcomed it like an old friend. Because they understood something most of us forget. Without change, life would be flat. No seasons, no growth, no second chances. Imagine a world where nothing changed. Where pain never ended, but joy never deepened either. Where the people you loved were frozen in time. And so were you. It sounds safe, but it would slowly drain life of its color, its depth, its pulse, its change that gives the sunset its beauty, its impermanence that makes a moment worth noticing. And that's why the Stoics urge us not just to tolerate change, but to build our strength around it. When you lose something, a job, a relationship, a version of yourself, it hurts, but it also creates space. Space for growth, for reinvention, for something new. Like a river curving around a rock, we learn to flow, not fight. Instead of demanding permanence, we cultivate presence. We stop obsessing over what might disappear and start loving what's here while it's here. The more we embrace life's ever-shifting rhythm, the more we understand nothing is promised, and that's what makes everything precious. So the next time life surprises you, don't tighten your grip, loosen your fear, and remember, even the storm will pass. Lesson 5. Practice being thankful. Gratitude isn't just a polite habit. It's a radical shift in how we see the world. Because let's face it, modern life is designed to show you what you're missing, what you don't have, what you should want next. But the Stoics had a different lens. They didn't count their riches by numbers. They measured wealth by appreciation. Being thankful means pausing long enough to notice the warmth of the sun, the way someone laughs, a quiet meal shared in peace. It's not about grand gestures. It's about small moments seen clearly. And it's powerful. Gratitude doesn't erase pain, but it gives you something stronger to hold on to. Even in sickness, you can be thankful for care, for support, for one more breath. Even in loneliness, you can be thankful for memory, for lessons, for hope. The Stoics took this further. They imagined life without the things they loved, not to feel fear, but to feel more alive. Because when you imagine losing the sun, you treasure its warmth. When you imagine silence, you cherish the sound of a voice. This practice, called negative visualization, isn't about sadness. It's about awakening. It reminds us that everything we love is borrowed, and every day is a chance to say thank you. So how do we live this out? Start small. 3 things. Every day. Write them, say them, feel them, and be specific. Not just, I'm grateful for my family, but I'm grateful for the way my dad makes coffee every morning without asking. I'm grateful for the hug my kid gave me when I didn't feel strong. I'm grateful for the quiet that helped me breathe today. These aren't just thoughts. They're tools. Tools that rewire your mind, so you stop chasing what's missing and start seeing what's already here. Gratitude turns ordinary days into gifts, and hardship into lessons. It brings peace without asking the world to change. Because sometimes, the most powerful shift is in the way you see. Lesson 6. Build your resilience. Life doesn't wait for you to feel ready. It throws curveballs, illness, loss, failure, change, when you least expect them. And in those moments, what matters most isn't what happens. It's who you've trained yourself to become. That's resilience. Not just surviving the storm, but walking through it with your eyes open and your soul still intact. The Stoics knew that hardship wasn't the exception. It was the path. And to walk that path well, you needed more than luck. You needed inner strength. But resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. One challenge, one choice, one breath at a time. It begins with your mindset. Not every problem is a punishment. Sometimes, it's a hidden invitation to grow. So ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I let this shape me, not shatter me? When you reframe adversity, you take your power back. You stop asking, why me? and start asking, "What now?" The Stoics practiced this mental shift daily, and they paired it with something even more powerful: emotional discipline. Because resilience isn't just about pushing through, it's about staying grounded while you do it. They trained themselves to stay calm in chaos, to breathe through fear, to think clearly when emotions run high. Mindfulness, meditation, journaling, pausing before reacting. These weren't trendy habits. They were survival skills. Because in life's darkest moments, clarity is a gift, and the calmest person in the room often becomes the strongest. Resilience also means making peace with uncertainty. Let's be real, life rarely goes according to plan. Jobs change, people leave, dreams evolve. The Stoics didn't resist this. They flowed with it, like water adapting to the shape of whatever holds it. They stayed anchored by their values, but flexible in their expectations. That's what made them strong. Not stubbornness, adaptability. And here's something we often forget. Resilience doesn't mean doing it alone. You don't have to be a lone warrior. You're human. You need connection. You need people who will remind you who you are. When you start to forget, a trusted friend, a mentor, a shoulder to lean on when you feel like giving up. Asking for help isn't weakness. It's wisdom. It's the courage to say, "I don't have to carry this alone." Because true resilience isn't built in isolation. It's forged in connection, in honesty, in shared strength. So build your foundation, train your mind, protect your peace, and surround yourself with those who lift you up. Because when the storm comes, and it will, you won't crumble, you'll rise, and not as the same person you were before, but stronger, wiser, unshakable. Lesson 7. Live in alignment with your values. There comes a point in life when we stop asking, "What should I do?" and start asking, "Who do I want to be?" That's where living by your values begins. Not with external goals, but with an internal compass. Because your values aren't just words you write down. They're the invisible threads that shape your actions, your relationships, your legacy. The Stoics believed that real happiness, the kind that lasts, doesn't come from success or praise. It comes from integrity, from knowing, deep down, that your choices reflect what truly matters to you. So what do you stand for? Kindness? Courage? Honesty? Growth? Take a moment. Think about the times when you felt most alive, most proud, most at peace. Chances are, those moments weren't about comfort. They were about character. Maybe you told the truth when it was hard. Maybe you helped someone when no one was watching. Maybe you walked away from something that no longer felt right, even when it scared you. Those are glimpses of your values in motion. But here's the truth. Living in alignment with your values isn't always convenient. Sometimes, it means saying no. Sometimes, it means being misunderstood. Sometimes, it means doing the harder thing, because it's the right thing. But over time, those choices stack up, and they build a life you're proud to call your own. So check in with yourself often. Are your words matching your actions? Are your priorities reflecting your principles? If the answer is no, don't panic. Just course correct. Real growth isn't about being perfect. It's about staying honest with yourself and adjusting when you drift. And here's the beauty. The more you live by your values, the more peace you feel, even when life is chaotic. Because you're no longer pulled in every direction by pressure, opinion, or fear. You move with clarity, with purpose, with strength. In the end, Stoicism isn't just a philosophy to study. It's a guide to living, a way to face the noise of the world, without losing the signal of who you are. Yes, emotions can crash over you like waves. Yes, Challenges will come, but when you know what you can control, when you pause before you react, when you practice gratitude, embrace change, build resilience, and live your truth, you stop being tossed around by life and start steering through it, not with fear, but with wisdom, with presence, and with peace. So start small. Choose one idea from this video. Apply it today, and let that small shift ripple into something bigger. If you felt something here, if a line or a moment struck a chord, I invite you to keep going. This isn't the end of the journey. It's the beginning. Subscribe to the Stoic Journey for more videos like this. Hit like, share this with someone who needs it, and join us next time as we dive deeper into the timeless tools that can help you live with clarity, courage, and calm. Until then, stay steady, stay true, and remember, you have more power than you think.